Hey guys, it's Nikki with FM99. I am here with Sam Loeffler of Chevelle. How are you doing?
I'm well. It's a beautiful day in Chicago today, so we'll take it.
Yeah, is it cold?
No, it's amazing. It's like 60.
What?
Yeah. Well, some days things are better than others.
You gonna have a blizzard tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Thank you for taking the time to talk to us. I was really excited to talk to you. Congrats on your new album. I have been listening to it. It's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a big deal to have a ninth album. It's our eighth album for Epic, which is actually we finished our contract for them with this album, which is kind of amazing.
Oh wow, yeah.
It's been a little while, and man, this album was everything we know about music up till now. It took a long time to write it, but I hope that I think it sounds different from everything else we've done. So
It really does. Yeah, it does. The cadence is different. Like what made you kind of change with this one?
well, I think we just don't want to do the same thing we've ever done. And I mean, we've published well over 100 songs now. So if you play them next to each other, you could probably find one or two that have some similarities.
Right.
But for the most part, I think they sound different. I think they do.
They do.
And yeah,
Yeah.
you just want to do something different that you haven't done before. And I think that we did. Self-Destructor definitely is one of those songs where it starts at like 96% and then it goes up to about 99.5% in the bridge.
Yeah.
So that was difficult because we have that song sitting there and we're working on the verses and the choruses and stuff, and just like, well, where do you go from here? Because
Right.
it's so hot, it's so in your face. And I think we did it. It was not easy, but I guess if it was easy, everybody would do it.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Well, and you guys have been doing it well for, 20 years
Yeah.
now, if I can say.
22 years since our first album came out. Yeah.
That's crazy. And
Yeah, I'm only 28 years old. It's amazing.
right. It's amazing. I know you
Mhm.
started when you were like, what, 6?
Yeah.
Oh,
There's no gray in my hair, nothing. It's perfect.
me neither.
Yeah.
So tell me, what do you think the secret is to your longevity? I mean, your fans have been with you for
Mm.
all this time. What's the secret to that?
I mean, the only thing I can say is it's just the music. They connect with the music because we certainly don't have a lifestyle influencer type, of personalities. We're not out. I mean, it's just, for us, it's always been about the music. It's not about the hair or who we're dating or any of that stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I don't give two shits whatever anybody else does. But for us, it's just been about music. And I think that either it connects or it doesn't. And it
Yeah.
has.
Yeah, agreed. And I mean, honestly, I think that is, in fact, the secret. You've always made it about the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's been important. That has been important to us. Early on, when we did Point Number One, we didn't even let them put a picture of us in the album, which I look back on it now and I'm so glad we didn't do that, because it's like looking at pictures of yourself when you're younger. You're like,
Yeah.
what was with my hair?
Yeah. Why did you guys let me leave the house like that?
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. So, for that reason, it's still good.
Yeah, absolutely. So you have played 4 of our luau's.
Yeah.
You played 2002, 2003, 2005, and then 2017. But typically, you guys seem to really enjoy touring like the smaller venues. The times that I've traveled to see you, I mean, it's kind of been at those more intimate
Yeah.
venues.
I mean, largely theaters are kind of the best place to see a band.
Yeah,
But we enjoy doing different stuff at different time. If you're in the theaters, you want to be doing the big festivals. You're in the big festivals, you want to do your headline shows. You're in the studio writing, you want to be recording. You're recording, you want to be touring.
right.
So, yeah, the variety is the spice of life, and basically just generally being discontent all the time is the way to go.
Yeah. I mean, that's good though, because you're never satisfied. So you're always striving for what's next, right?
I've been satisfied before. I remember it, but it's a fleeting sensation for sure.
Yes. Yeah.
Kind of like happiness, right? It's just, if you walk around happy all the time, then you're a crazy person. But
Well,
happiness really is just like a couple of like spicy moments, right?
It's true. Yeah.
Exactly.
And then you're looking for the next spicy moment to make you happy again.
Yes. Coincidentally, I enjoy spicy foods. That makes me happy. So.
Yeah, me too. Yep. So there's spice of life. I'm seeing a connection there.
Yeah.
Look at
I think that's it. Now I'm going to have tacos for dinner.
Well, yeah, I was going to say now I need something spicy for dinner. Thank you for that. So Niratias, nothing is real and this is a simulation.
Agreed.
Yeah. What's the story behind the name of the album?
Well, basically, I'm not actually talking to you right now. So,
okay.
So in my world, you're not even real. You're a part of the simulation. You're right.
Okay.
So, but I don't know if that's true. But
yeah.
I've been seeing that people have been talking about this not being real for hundreds of years. It's been happening, right? So it's not Elon Musk that came up with it by any means. So it's fun to think about it, and the smartest minds have said, yes, it's way more probable that this is not real. That's just the way it is. Which is funny because you think about when you look out into space to see planets, stars, etc. Those things weren't there until you looked at them, right? Now I'm speaking like this is truth. It is not truth. I obviously have no idea, but it's fun to think about it. And I mean, it's pretty easy to create a religion around anything. So this could be it.
That is a fact.
Yeah,
it's very true. So this album feels like it has kind of an alien end of the world kind of feel.
I mean, that's another true thing, is that a lot of people who are smart say that if aliens did visit us, they would take over, right?
Yep.
Because that's what we do as humankind. Like every time we go in somewhere, we conquer and massacre and generally have a luau.
Yeah.
Something. It's terrible and awful. I'm making light of it, but it's the reality of mankind, humankind.
Yeah. So kind of a little bit of an interest in space and aliens, and
I mean, always. I think always is especially now when we have the most amount of information that we've ever had in the history of the world. We have access to the most amount of information. And so you just kind of want to base your thoughts, your ideas on everything that you can get to, right? So that's just what we're doing. We're just saying, hey, is this possible? And it's a fun subject. Space is a fun subject. Going to Mars and whether that could actually be reality someday, that's a fun subject.
Yeah.
In, not just singing about my girlfriend leaving me or whatever.
Yeah.
No girlfriend. I've been married for 12 years. I'm still mad that she left me 15 years ago. This is a nervous laugh.
Yeah, you're like, great. I'm in really big trouble now. Yeah. Yes. So on this new album, what was the hardest song to record and why?
What's the hardest song to record? I struggled with, for me, probably with Verrucht, because it was one of the last songs, the second to last song that we wrote. Okay. And it was just a lot of parts. Plus, when you don't have the vocals to reference sometimes, but it was fine. I mean, none of it was hard because we rehearsed it and practiced it so much, and so none of it was really difficult. But Barisi, our producer, he has his idea of what he's looking for,
right?
And I remember it was that Simpsons episode when Mr. Burns kept telling the baseball player to shave his sideburns.
Okay.
And he kept shaving them, and he was like, he had shaved all the way up here. And he's like, I don't think you know what sideburns are. And I felt like sometimes that Barisi was asking me to do something, and I was like, I don't understand what you're doing. So I did it, and it was weird, and it didn't make sense to me, but it made sense to him.
Right.
And he's like, that's what I was looking for. So that's probably a longer story of that than you needed.
No, that's okay. I dig it. It's what I'm looking for. I want to know all these little nuances.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing is, it's such a process to record something, especially when it's a whole bunch of songs and you span it out over a year.
Right.
And then the writing is spanned out. I mean, because this whole record most of it was written and done back in in 2019.
Yeah.
And then we've finished it. Pete and I finished the last few songs in March of 2020.
Okay.
So it was actually before the pandemic. So it was all written and done, which is, it's coincidental that the song Self-Destructor is about anti-vaxxer movement.
Yeah.
Not even a movement, just the anti-vaxxers.
Yeah.
So it's purely coincidental.
So you guys can see the future, basically.
I mean,
We'll just go with it.
maybe. Maybe.
Do you have a favorite song on the album?
Do I have a favorite? I really connected with the song Remember When, but again, coincidentally, it's the last song that we wrote for this album, so that could be why. Yeah, but Mother Earth, So Long Mother Earth it was a song that sort of broke us in this album, where it was like the turning point of the album.
Okay.
So I kind of have a pretty good place there with that song. And there's actually a song that didn't make it on the album that also was a turning point. It was those two songs that were a turning point. So we'll put that one on the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Already planning the next one.
Yes.
Let's see, Sarah, can't wait to see these songs live in the future. Which new songs are you most looking forward to playing once that happens?
We've been working on a set list, and I think right now where we'd start out is probably Baruch, So Long Mother Earth, Self-Destructor, Mars Simula, maybe one other one, maybe Peach. But that's probably where we would start out.
Yep.
But the second single is Mars Simula, which is kind of exciting to put that out in a sense, because it's such a rock song. I mean, it's so heavy. It's the heaviest song on the album, and we actually shot a video for it a few weeks ago.
Ah.
Yeah. So, but Self-Destructor is doing well, so you don't want to cut that.
Yeah.
That off.
Yeah, we're playing that one actually.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So out of those, let's see. So much good music from Chevelle, so many good memories linked to Span. See, you guys, your fans are like.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I've got a lot of great memories linked to bands myself. Lots of years of going to shows.
Yeah, well, yeah, I would imagine so.
Yeah.
Do you guys have? I know everything is kind of when and if, but are there touring like plans?
Yeah, I mean that's a fair question, because everybody kind of has a different idea of what's happening. But we have 10 shows booked for 2021. They're all festivals.
Okay.
So we're hoping that they all happen, but it's hard to say, because I honestly don't really know how it works, because a promoter promotes a show, but they have to have insurance, and you can't get insurance for pandemics, right? Why would anyone?
Right. Yeah.
And some of these bigger outdoor festivals, the insurance for a lot of those things are like $4 a ticket is going to insurance. That's a lot of money when you're talking about 50,000, people.
That's a lot of money. Yeah.
That's per day too. If it's a 3-day festival, it's $600,000. So I don't know even if they get the permits and all that. I mean, I think there's a lot of things that have to fall in place before we're able to just go and walk 50,000 people into a park, or whatever. And I don't think it's going to matter. Like, I heard a lot of people saying, oh, the government's not going to let this happen, or they're going to make it. But I don't think that's really going to be a problem.
Yeah.
I think no promoter can go and invest millions of dollars into something without having some kind of insurance that it's going to happen.
Right. Yeah. Well, and a lot of it's going to depend on where, even, because I heard there's like 17 or 18 states that have like just completely pulled away all the mandates and everything's back to normal. And so my guess,
and that's kind of weird too, because, and I'm not even commenting on whether it's good or bad. I'm just, if something does happen, like, who's going to sue that state, and are they going to win? I mean, there's so many possibilities of things happening, but I mean, obviously we want to play shows, we want to work, we want to have fun and experiences and all that stuff. So I'm hoping times 1,000 that this happens.
Yeah, we are too, because we're ready to see you again. We're ready for live music.
You can see I'm in my car. I know I said that to you, but I was in the studio and it was so nice and quiet in my car. I was like, I'll just go out there and do that.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to move in. It's amazing.
Now I'm not leaving my car.
I know. I'm going to put a bed back there. I'm good to go.
It is quiet. It sounds like you're sitting in like a radio studio.
Yeah, it's so dead in here. I love it.
Yeah. But, you know, it's not real. It's a simulation.
Yeah, it feels real. The steak feels real when I bite into it.
Yeah. So I got to ask, is this your favorite album? Do you have a favorite album that you guys have done, or is the next one the favorite? You know?
I think it's fair to say that most of the time your favorite album is the one that you're working on because it's one you're close to, or it's the last one you worked on because you're so close to this stuff that you're like, I don't get it. It's like I can't even see it. I'm so close to it. Yeah. But for sure, one of my favorite albums is La Gargola because I don't know, that album is it's so heavy, and I love that about it. I like heavy music. That's my thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like that album, and the North Corridor for that matter, didn't necessarily get out to the sort of metalish type fan base that I would have liked it to.
Okay.
I mean, it got out to our fans, which is great and everything, but I think that there was a whole bunch of people who are into that type of music that didn't hear about that album. But I can be wrong. Yeah. I'm a drummer. I'm an idiot.
Hey, the drummer is, you know, one of the most important guys because
without me, you have to get a machine to do it.
Yeah, that's right. Let's see, Lawrence, who is your absolute favorite band? Set the record straight.
My favorite band?
Well, it says who is their absolute favorite band, so he's got to be asking you, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly don't have a favorite band. Some of the bands that my go-to bands that I listen to when I'm running or when I'm working out or whatever, I listen to a band called Every Time I Die. It's one of my favorites. I listen to Clutch. I still listen to those Soundgarden albums. The other day was listening to this band called The Hum, just put out a new album, which I was a big fan of their earlier stuff. Quicksand. I'm trying to think of what have I been listening to lately. Yeah, I mean that's quite a few, I guess, in a row. Definitely, you know, rock bands on the harder side of that.
Yeah, definitely. I was gonna say that is definitely harder side.
One of my favorite albums is a album called The Shape of Punk to Come.
Okay.
By a band called The Refused.
Interesting. I'm wondering if he's like taking really fast notes.
Well, it's funny because I played a couple years ago. I remember I played The Refused for my nephew, who at that point was about 20 years old, and he was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe how good this is." And I was like, "Yeah, dude, this is 20 years old, man." I said, "Where do you think all your screaming bands got their influence from? This, dude. It was super influential." So, but yeah, that's an amazing album.
Yeah, I always love that when there's like a band that we grew up with that we're singing along, and you know, I've got kids too, and they're like, "How do you know this song?" I was listening to this before you were a twinkle in my eye.
That's right.
You don't even know. Yes, mm-hmm. So Lauren said, "Thank you for reading my question. I'm writing some of these bands down."
There you go.
This vision of people
yeah,
quickly taking notes. So you're in the studio. What are you guys? The album's done. What are you working on?
Our bass player quit in December 2019 was his last show, Dean.
I will tell you that out of all of the Chevelle groups that found out we were doing this, they're like, ask about the bass player. I'm like, I kind of feel like they've beat that one to death. So I wasn't going to go there, but yes.
It doesn't bother me. I mean, he did it for 15 years and decided that he needed to be with his kids are now coming to be teenagers and needed to be home for a while and stuff. So
I get that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So because of that, we have only rehearsed with who will be our current bass player twice really. So we're putting together set lists, working on that kind of thing, been sending music back and forth.
Okay.
And generally just trying to stay. it's kind of an interesting time because with putting out this album, we've been really busy.
Right.
So starting probably next week, we're going to get back into just playing music again. It's fairly depressing to play music knowing that you can't go and do it, because you like, it's one thing to just to go write music and play covers and things, but to play the music that you were used to playing out in venues for years and years and years.
Yeah.
It's a little depressing when you to know that you can't do it. So we haven't been doing that as much. Well, now we're getting back into that, I guess, is the long story longer portion of that. So yes, we can prepare. So yeah, we have some shows at the end of June that we're hoping happen.
Yeah.
Small festivals. So I think those will happen. That'd be good.
That would be amazing. So there is, in fact, you threw it out there, so I'm gonna ask. So there is, in fact, a new bass player.
Yeah. His name's Kemble Walters, and he plays in a band called Ages, and he's actually the guitarist singer in that band, but he plays bass in another band as well. And we just asked him. He's a friend of ours, and we've known him for many years and did lots of shows together. And we're like, hey man, we love you. We love your hair. Do you want to come and play some shows? And he said yes. So we're going to do that, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, he's a rad dude, so I'm sure it'll be great. You know, until he has to go and do his other projects again or whatever he does. But it's cool. It's casual, you know?
Yeah, no, definitely. Especially like you said, it's a friend, you know, it can be cool and casual.
Yeah, exactly. And he's great. He's a great musician, and he's a great bass player, and he's a great guitarist, and he can sing, and he's got really tight pants. So we like him.
And cool hair, as you said.
Yeah. Great hair.
I mean, what else do you need?
Very little, it turns out.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I am super excited. I won't take up more of your time. I do appreciate the time that you gave me. Love the new album, Niratias. It came out this past Friday, the 5th.
Yep.
Yeah.
The 5th.
Super stoked to hear you guys are in the studio and getting ready for live shows. That gives me a lot of hope.
Yeah, that's the plan. That's what we'd like to do this summer. So I think we're all looking forward to it. So we'll just do our best to get whatever it takes to get to that point. Because a lot of my friends are like, oh, I'm not going to get the vaccine or whatever. And I'm like, I don't give two shits about it. Just give me the vaccine. If I can go play something, I can go play a show, give it to me. Give me two of them. Yeah. I'll take one in each arm, and I'll carry one around in my pocket if you want me to.
Yeah, just shoot everybody else up. Doesn't matter.
I just want to go to work. Want to go to work. That's it.
I told somebody the other day I would go to a concert in a spacesuit if it meant that I could go see live music.
A bubble designed to be able to allow us to smell our own farts. That's what it is.
I mean, that's even better. See, you can work on that in your spare time.
I actually saw there's a bunch of just like companies that have invented those things. That's basically it just puts over your head, right? Yeah. And I'm trying to think of what movie it was when they were wearing those things with the square hoods, the see-through hoods, and that's basically what it was. Yeah. Was that from like Contagion? Is that what it was?
I do think it was from. Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah. Wow, we watched that recently about 3 or 4 months ago, and they got so much of that right, which is not surprising. But one thing they got crazy wrong was the polarizing political aspect of it. They didn't talk about that at all, which would have been boring in the movie anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, they didn't talk about that at all.
Now I feel like I have to watch that movie all over again.
You should watch it. It's still good.
Yeah. It would be nice to watch without the polarizing political piece of it.
Yeah. It makes it much easier.
Yeah. Much
it really
easier.
Does.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Thank you again. And hurry up and see us. We want to see you guys live. So
absolutely. Fantastic. And we will see you soon. I know it'll happen.
Good. Yes, please. You guys be safe out there.
Okay. You too. Thanks so much.
All right. Thanks, Sam.
Okay. Cheers.
All right. Bye.